He is at our rallies, community events, labor celebrations, attends picket lines, supports social justice causes. He has listened to labor and has supported our position on most issues at Queen's Park. Mike is our conduit to the provincial government, and today he joins us to mark this day and collectively find solutions to make the changes we need. Mike?
Thank you, Janice, for that kind introduction, and thank you all for being here today on this important day where we mourn those who we've lost and we fight for the living. And I want to thank you for the Indigenous opening today, because I think it is so important that we learn from Indigenous people how essential it is to be stewards of the places that we love, and to be protectors and defenders of the people we love for today, tomorrow, and the next 7 generations. And I know that is something that the labor movement fights for, and I want to thank you for that. Sarah spoke about prevention, and we could talk a lot about the ways in which the Ford government is attacking the people and places we love. But I think one of the most profound ways are the things that prevent harm to people, workers, and the environment. And Suzanne, thank you so much for sharing Bob's story, because I think Bob's story personifies how critically important it is to prevent harm to people and environment. And the whole asbestos industry and the way in which that has manifested itself in our society exemplifies that. And so thank you so much for having the courage to share your story and Bob's story today. And in particular, I just want to say that, Sarah, when you talk about prevention, I feel we're in this battle right now about whether it's cuts to public health and how that affects our health, cuts to flood prevention at a time when we have emergency flood declarations happening, cuts and changes to the WSIB program, which is so essential to preventing workplace injuries. I see my friends from the NDP here, and Catherine Fife and I worked so hard at committee together on Bill 66 to just get the government to wake up to the fact that maybe putting a health and safety sign up in the workplace will prevent injuries. And that even there they refuse to listen. And so the one thing I will tell you is that in my work at Queen's Park, rules and laws and legislation that's designed to protect the people and places we love will never be red tape in my mind. And I will continue to work with you to fight against that agenda. And I just want to close by a few words that Councillor Alt had shared, because I think another thing that's under attack, and I see people in this audience who have become progressive political leaders in this community because of experience they've had through organizations like OPIRG and CFRU, Scotty, and just the wonderful community conversations that happen there. And I feel like with the Student Choice Initiative, one thing that's under attack is civic engagement and political action. They are trying to stamp out the places that bring us together for those kinds of conversations. And so I think it is so important that we fight against that, because literally, like I see our former mayor here, literally people have emerged out of those organizations and have been progressive fighters for this community. And I think we need to defend those organizations and ensure that they endure, so the next generation has the capacity and the learnings and the experience for that kind of civic engagement. And I know, Janice, the District Labor Council, like you're gonna have to step up and fill some of that void as well. And I know you have the capacity and the willingness and the vision and the fight in you to do that, and I will work with you in that. So thank you so much for the great work that you do.
Thank you, Mike. And we would ask, Mike, that you advocate at Queen's Park that the regulations play a critical role in protecting workers and public health. When adequately enforced, laws and regulations can be an effective tool. Research has found strong evidence that inspections with penalties were associated with lower rates of injury. We need the regulations to prevent any more death. We need regulations and legislation that requires employers to work with health and safety committees to develop policies and programs in cooperation with workplace health and safety committees, provide adequate ongoing training for all workers, identify workplace physical and psychosocial hazards, and develop an action plan for addressing them, and ensuring worker participation in developing and monitoring the systems that make workplaces safer. April 28th is the day we remember those whose lives were lost and those whose lives were forever changed because of something that happened in their workplace. Before we move to the memory roses, we would open the mic to anyone who wishes to offer some words, thoughts, or tell a loved one's tragedy or story. So I open the mic.